as Jamie said a little earlier, we're going to be talking about Jamaica today. I looked up the dates. It was the 3rd through the 12th. Those were the days we were out here. And I wanted to start today with an update for something I know everybody here has been waiting on all year long. You may remember this individual. You might even have nightmares of him still. Not entirely sure. So this is Barnabas the Devourer is what we dubbed him. And we went to the same place that we went to last year, and this was painted on outside of an elementary school that was just like a quarter mile from the school. And I have good news. He's gone to therapy. He saw a priest, had some demons exorcised, and now he's turned his life around generally, and is just Barnabas the Abductor. See, he even has friends now. Bear in the Big Blue House, and I have no idea who that other person is there, but he's definitely not being held against his will. I don't know what you're talking about. And don't worry about the van off screen that has the word candy scrawled on it. I don't know what that's about. They're definitely not doing anything illicit. But yeah, so that I want to find the person who painted this. I want to shake their hands because that is a very interesting way to fix Barney. Anyway, let's get to the group. Starting off from the left side, that idiot over there who's paying way too much attention to whether the camera's taking a photo or not, that's me. To the left of, to the right of me is Greg and then Lori. They're the ones who organize all of this. Greg does all of the logistics about what we're going to do, where we're going to go, where we're staying. He does everything. If it weren't for him, this would not happen. Lori manages everything with the medical side of things, make sure we have all the equipment we need each year, and make sure that anything that we need to bring down there for that is brought. Above them is Noah, their grandson. I think he's 14. He just turned the age that we let people start coming down with us, so it's either 13 or 14. I can't remember which. But he's in middle school, and let me tell you, that kid knows a lot about Minecraft. He was my roommate, and I learned way too much about Minecraft every single night. Then moving on over, we have down in front, we have Angelica and Sarah. They're sisters. It's Angelica, it's not Hickerson anymore, it's Angelica Thorne and Sarah Hickerson. They have been going the same amount of time that I've been going. So I think it's 9 years, it may be 10 years, I may be missing a year in there somewhere. But we've all been going down there for a very long time. Above them is Trayvon, or Tavon, I'm still not sure. Everyone down there, you think I'm quiet. Everyone down there has a very, very soft voice. So I forget who he's related to. He's related to one of the preachers that we work with down there. I think I know who it is, but I don't have a photo of him, so I'm not with that. But he came up and helped us this year. Next to him in the back there is Shelby. Shelby's been coming with us every single year. She's down there in Jamaica. But she's been coming to help us every single year that we've been down there. I think she might not have been there the first year. Angelica thinks that she wasn't there the first year, but I don't know. I'm pretty sure she was there. But she's very helpful. She helps out with the kids, and is also kind of the muscle there. She used to be a security guard, and anytime we need somebody thrown out, she's the one. Below her is Ramondo. I have a note here saying that you're going to forget his name. His name is Ramondo, because for the life of me, I could not remember him the entire trip. He is going to be the youth minister there at Linstead. He just started like the day we got there. He used to be up here in Memphis. He was the preacher at one of the Memphis School of Preaching buildings, and helped teach there as well. And he came back down a couple years ago. And as he was going down, one of the other preachers, who's actually Shelby's brother, named Jakes Small, came back up here to Memphis to take his place. So, small world down there. Moving on to the right, or continuing on to the right, in the back there we have Laura and Annalisa. She went by Anna most of the time. I was trying to remember her actual name. Laura is Annalisa's mother, and Laura and Lori, that didn't get confusing, they were the two nurses that we had with us for the medical side of things. So last year we weren't able to do blood sugar. This year we were able to because we had two nurses to do it. Up above them is Isaac. Isaac is the guy who, he was our chef during this week. We had an actual cruise line chef with us. He used to work at I think it was Carnival Cruise, and he was one of the chefs on board one of those ships. COVID hit, he lost his license, so he had to get a different job, and now he's a chef at a bank in Linstead. I want this to become a thing in the U.S., where just any random business has a chef in there, just prepares lunch for you. I want that where I work, man. And he was absolutely fantastic, though. He got in there like first thing in the morning, started preparing food for the evening, and everything we all had there was amazing, except for the drinks. This man likes ginger. He likes ginger a lot. I've never had enough ginger that it burned until this trip. Any of the juices that he made for us, except for one, because we asked him not to put any ginger in it, he put an obscene amount of ginger in every drink. And it would be nice and refreshing to take a sip and then just like, and yeah. But everything else that he made, fantastic food. Loved it all. And then finishing off here, we have Mary and Kevin. Kevin is the preacher at the Whitehall Church of Christ in Fairmont, West Virginia. That's where this entire thing is based at right now. It used to be over at the Belpre Church of Christ in Belpre, Ohio. Greg and Lori moved a couple years ago, though, to Bridgeport, West Virginia, which is really close to Fairmont, West Virginia. So that's where it's based now. Not everybody is in West Virginia, though. Angelica and Laura and Annalisa are all down in Florida, and then Sarah's in Texas. So, but everybody else is in West Virginia or Pennsylvania. So, the only people that I didn't include in that picture was the Osborns, not Ozzy Osbourne. This is the preacher Dave Osborne, or Super Dave, as he prefers to be called now. Dave has been there since at least the time that I started going there. I think several years prior to that, though, so at least 10 years. 10 years ago, we actually were meeting in a place that was like right next to a department store. We had actually just bought the building like the week that we got down there back in 2015, 2016. You could still see it on the side of it, the Jehovah's Witnesses sign that was like fading into the concrete. But we bought that year, and the next year we were up and running in this place. Oh yeah. Dave is fantastic for many reasons, but one of them is the fact that he owns a pineapple orchard. I don't know if it's an orchard or a garden or what you would actually call it, but here's a wonderful picture of Kevin, our fearless preacher eating pineapple in front of two starving African children. They're Dave's kids. They get plenty of pineapple. It was just a funny photo. But he brings pineapple for us every single year, and it is the best pineapple you've ever had in your life. It is so sweet. The stuff we get here in the States is nothing compared to this. This is Marie Osborne. She's Dave's wife. She didn't help a whole lot this year. She was busy with some other things in the area that she couldn't make it to help us out very much. But she's a fantastic help when she's able to be with us. Xander Osborne. They haven't had any children themselves. Both of their children are adopted. Xander was adopted, I think, the year we started going. There were a lot of things that happened that first year. But he is now 11 or 12, which it doesn't seem real. Like, I remember when he was like that tall, running around at the speed of sound. And then the one that's still running around at the speed of sound is Dominic. Dominic is, I think, 6 years old now, maybe 5. He has way too much energy. One of the first nights we were there, it was actually Saturday night, he fell down the steps at his house, and it was because he was being way too hyper. And all of the steps in Jamaica, like in people's houses, are concrete. So it was not good. They had to take him to the hospital, and Dave missed most of Sunday morning church. Thankfully, it was myself and Kevin who were doing the lesson and sermon, respectively. So Dave didn't need to be there for most of it. But he came at the very end and gave us an update on Dominic, and he was doing fine. And then that same afternoon, we get a video from Marie showing us that Dominic was out of the hospital and was actually graduating from preschool and was doing absolutely fine. This child was, the video is just him walking up to get it, just, it was very cute. Yeah, those are the Osbornes. Next up, so Linstead. Linstead is one of the major cities, sort of, in Kingston. It's along the same lines as Ocho Rios, which is where a lot of the tourists go, in size-wise at least. Or maybe Montego Bay, probably a little smaller than Montego Bay. It has nothing on Kingston. Kingston is gigantic. But we are far enough from Kingston that it's not dangerous. Kingston, if you ever hear anything bad about Jamaica, it's usually either Kingston or Spanish Town, which is like right just to the west of Kingston, or way over here in Negril on the very western side. I don't know why, just bing bing, but those are the two bad spots. Pretty much everywhere else is okay. Linstead is very okay. Ocho Rios is fine. Anywhere where tourists are at is always fine. But we don't tend to go towards any of the more dangerous areas. So if you're worried about that, don't. We know where we're going. We're not going to anywhere where you could possibly get hurt. Let's see. Okay. A couple things about Jamaica. Everybody knows that Jamaica is known for its reggae, for its Rastafarians. I think I told you guys about the Rastafarians last year. It's actually somewhat of a religion, somewhat of a lifestyle. It kind of depends on who you talk to. And it's got some interesting beliefs. It's like, I would say it's on the same level as like Muslim when you're trying to gauge where it is compared to Christian. Where they have, the Bible is a thing to them, but I don't know. So, but they're always interesting to talk to. They know the Bible like the back of their hands, but they know it wrong. So maybe more like Jehovah's Witnesses in that case. Yeah. The thing that I love about Jamaica, though, obviously I love the people. People are fantastic down there. Like I said, as long as you stay out of Kingston. And the food. The food is fantastic. I made jerk chicken for everybody last week. I was told it was fairly good. I think I burnt it a little bit, but there's also ackee and saltfish. That is the national dish of Jamaica. And ackee is this weird red fruit. It kind of looks like a pear initially, but then it's its skin opens up, and these 3 like caterpillar-looking things are hanging out of it. Look up a picture of it. It's ACKEE. I should have included a picture. Thought about it a little bit too late, but yeah. It's this weird-looking fruit, and it tastes like scrambled eggs. Don't know how that works, but it does. But yeah, ackee and saltfish. I love it. A lot of people find it weird because it's a fruit, and it tastes like scrambled eggs, like I said. And that's off-putting to some people. But that's one of my favorite things. My favorite thing, though, curry goat. If any of you know where I can get goat in this area, let me know. I will make curry goat for you guys. You will all love it. But moving on. So one of the first things we do every time we get down there is we have to set up. We have to set up for VBS, for any of the medical things that we're doing. So we all pack a ton of stuff into our suitcases, and then we have to get it there, and we have to divvy it up and stuff like that. And then this is the only night that I don't enjoy, but that's because there's no real easy way to do this kind of thing. We just kind of open up all the luggages and just like let them flow into the ground, and then figure out what we're doing with them after that. If anybody has a good way of managing that kind of thing, let me know. And also maybe come with us and help us, because that night is interesting, to say the least. But this is a picture of Laura and Alyssa making goodie bags for the VBS days. Usually we make about 20. Sometimes we need more. In which case we usually just pull from previous days or something like that. But we've had to put some interesting ones together. Also, we had to set up for VBS. As you can see, we had a Western theme this year. The reason we had a Western theme was because the Whitehall Church of Christ had done this theme this year. And anything that they do, we tend to just bring down to Jamaica with us. A lot of it we just leave down there, or we just get rid of afterwards. And then there are a couple things that they have like a deposit on or whatever that they have to bring back up. But, so yeah. There were a couple things that we did that were related to this. Obviously, we had a couple songs that were related to it for the kids. And then we had a skit called Wonder Junction that I think Mary might have written. It was very silly. It was 3 of us. It was myself playing an 8-year-old, obviously. Noah playing the old man. As you can tell, that would be a silly sight. And then Alyssa playing a little girl who's learning about Jesus. And my entire shtick was, I like candy. That was the entire shtick. And one thing with this, there's only one classroom in the entire place. There is an external building, sort of, that Dave uses for exercise during the day, sometimes when he feels like it. That's usually where we are with the teens. None of this has any air conditioning whatsoever, and the classroom is hot. So it's never cool down there, I will tell you that. And then the other 2 groups, because we have to divide up into 4 age groups, the itty bitties and the 6 to 8-year-olds all go out in the auditorium into 2 separate sections and try not to scream over top of one another. But as you can see, we have those 2 groups. We have the 8 to 12-year-olds, which went into the actual classroom, and then the teens, which is the one that I help teach, out in the exercise room. And the theme this year was, apparently I didn't write it down, it was the life of Christ. We did 4 different days. We can't really do 5 days because we need a day to clean up everything. But we started out with the birth of Christ, the childhood of Christ. Then it was the Sermon on the Mount, was day 2. And then day 3 was the crucifixion and resurrection. And then the ascension was day 4. How that ties into a Western theme, I still haven't figured out. here we are. The first day was a bit of a small turnout. We had, I think, a grand total of 6 people that were with us, or 6 kids that came with us. And yeah, the reason for that was because we didn't do yard yelling. I don't know if you guys remember that from last year. It's technically door knocking, but you can't necessarily knock on somebody's door, so you have to stand at the edge and go, "Hello, anybody in there?" And we didn't do that this year. Dave thought that he had done enough outreach in order to get enough people in, and did not. So what we ended up doing was, with the few kids that we had, we broke out into 2 groups, and then everybody else went out to yard yelling. And by the end of the day, we tripled in size. And then the next day, we tripled that. So yeah, I think we're going to do yard yelling from now on, whether they like it or not. So we had a very big class the second day. It actually kind of shrunk the third day. I don't quite know why. I think we brought a bunch of people over from a place called Treadways, and we weren't able to get the bus over there because the roads aren't great over there. So we had a few less people the third and fourth day, but we kept the same number of people the third and fourth day. Obviously, at the beginning of each class, we do songs. That allows people to come in because you are on what's called island time the entire time you're down there. Island time means that they're going to show up when they feel like it, and sometimes that's an hour late. So if we're singing, usually that's more inviting to people, and that's more of an indication that it's okay to come on in, and you're not just going to be sitting there going for like 10 minutes or whatever. And then we went back and we would do the lesson for the day, and then we would do a craft, and I just wanted to share this with you guys. For the people who donated the shirts, this is what we did with them. We did a tie-dye shirt, and I printed out some iron-on transfer crosses. We did those on day 3. I was afraid that we weren't going to have enough shirts. We had like just enough. There were 17 people in my class that day, and no more came the next day, which I was sad about, but also I didn't have to like hand out t-shirts and someone not get one. So it worked out. Yeah, that's what we did with the t-shirts this year. After that, we would go home, we get lunch, yada, yada, yada. Then we come back and we do the medical mission part of it, which would last from 2 to 4. Started out, everyone would come to me and they would do glasses, specifically testing for reading glasses. We do have the setup to do distance vision tests, but the problem is a lot of people think that we're also going to have the glasses there for them if we do that test. So, and we don't. We can't make that on the spot. That's impossible for us to actually do. So we shrunk it down to just doing reading glasses for the past couple of years. And then we would send them over to Lori, and she would do blood pressure with them, and Laura would do the blood sugar. And then if they wanted to, they could stay and they could have a Bible study. And several people did. We had several Bible studies this year. We didn't end up having any baptisms, but usually this ends up resulting in at least 1 or 2 baptisms each year. But a lot of the people that we talked to also were people who had come to us last year. There was one guy who he has some interesting ideas of how the Bible works. He wasn't Rastafarian. I was surprised, but he sat down with Kevin and last year and just started quoting verses at him and seeing what Kevin could come up with. It was a very interesting interaction that happened there. And he came back this year, and I didn't listen into any of that one, but Kevin said it was actually very productive and that they actually made a lot of progress with him this year, which was nice to hear. I think we had, I'm trying to think how many people we had come in. We didn't get an exact number, but it was probably around 40 to 50 people that came in and did the glasses and the blood pressure and blood sugar, which was a very good turnout. A couple years ago in Monique, I think we only had about 10 people. That is because we had a clinic that was literally right down the road, so it was kind of easy for them to get whatever they needed there. So, poor planning on our part. But yeah, we had quite a few people turn out this year, and I was very happy to see that. Then the last thing that we did we did this 2 days. We didn't do this every single night. We did a street meeting, which we have a term for what this is in the U.S., and it's called disturbing the peace. We went out to a couple places in Treadways, which is about 10 minutes north of Linstead, and we brought these 2 very large speakers, a big generator, and hooked it all up, and about 6 o'clock, 7 o'clock, about the time that everybody's settling down for the night, we blasted out singing for the entire neighborhood for them to hear. First time was at it was at a park where a lot of people a lot of the kids come to play soccer. And then the next day was at Isaac's house, actually. We went right next to him, and I'm sure he got some lovely comments about that. But apparently this has been really helpful for them over the past couple of years. They've been doing this a lot, apparently. Just going out in the streets, doing some singing, and then they would do a sermon, and Dave did the sermon both times, and Dave has one sermon in him. That's it. Every time you hear him preach, he preaches the exact same thing. But he preaches it well. He's been doing it for 10 years, and he preaches it very well. And a lot of people got to hear the word that night. Might have been a little perturbed by having to hear it, but different culture. Yeah, that is what we did this year. Trying to see if there are any notes that I missed. Yeah, we went out. It was Monday and Wednesday that we did that. Normally we have what's called a crusade in the evening. A crusade is just it's basically just a song service. Normally we have those. Like I said, they found this to be more helpful over the past couple years, though. So, next year we're going to a place called Loitas Vale. And let me tell you, if you hate beauty, if you hate fun, if you hate happiness, don't come. But if you like those things, this is one of the most beautiful locations on Jamaica. This is up there in the mountains. It's on a sugarcane plantation. That's what takes up most of the area around that. The temperature is about 10 degrees cooler than it is anywhere else on the island, which is fantastic. And yeah, we went there back in 2019, and we painted the church there. That's one of the locals helping us letter the name of the church onto there. We did that. We did our usual VBS and everything. And yeah. What else did we do? I'm trying to think if there's anything else that we did. I think that was mostly it. We also paved their parking lot a little bit. But yeah, this is Loitas Vale. This is the church there. This is before we actually painted it. That's why the cross is a little faded out. Yeah, it's a beautiful place, and we would love to have you guys. So yeah, join us next year. There wasn't a whole lot that happened. There weren't a whole lot of stories that happened this year, so I didn't have a whole lot of specific points on kind of people who might have been touched by us as much. But it was a very standard year, and things went really well. So now, if there's anything that you need from the church, if you need prayers, if you need assistance, or if you've yet to be baptized,